One of the fights on the undercard was the return of Bakhodir Jalolov. This is a two-time Olympic gold medalist who is 14-0 with 14 knockouts coming into the fight. He's a 2020 Olympic gold medalist, and then he took a break from his pro career to go back and win a second gold medal in the 2024 Olympics. This was his first fight in about a year and a half since returning back to the ring.
This is when they changed the rules where you could fight in the Olympics as a pro.
Exactly. And this was his return fight. He fought Ihor Shevadzutskyi. Not a lot of action. Not impressed. It was very underwhelming, to be honest. But I just want to hear your thoughts on Jalolov.
Yeah, he's a southpaw, right? That causes a problem. He's tall. He's long. He fought a guy that really kind of brought back memories to me of a guy who I loved. You know, he became a sort of a legendary guy in his own way. You know, he became a guy that was a fan-friendly favorite. Butterbean, you know. No, really. I mean, Butterbean was on USA fights all the time, fighting. And he was a tough guy. You know, he looked like a Butterbean. I don't have to go deep into that. And he was a guy that he brought it. And like I said, he became one of these, cult-type figures where, people were loving Butterbean. Eventually, years later, he fought Larry Holmes, believe it or not. Larry beat him. And he put up a look. Larry was old and, wouldn't have been in the ring if it wasn't with somebody named Butterbean, I guess, right? But take nothing away from Butterbean. Butterbean fought tough. He always fought tough. He winged those punches. This guy really did. If they ever do a movie on Butterbean, I think they should do a documentary on that guy. He has quite a story, and he developed quite a following. This guy could play him. I mean, he really looked like, and a tough guy. Look, just like Butterbean. But at the end of the day, Jalolov, it wasn't a pretty fight. It was a lot of grabbing. Obviously, he wants to fight on the outside. He's tall, he's long. Try to catch the opponent, Ihor. I won't even try to go.
The Ukrainian Butterbean.
The Ukrainian Butterbean, exactly. Ihor, he did catch him one round. He dropped him. He caught him. I believe it was right down the middle with a straight left hand. He blinded him, I believe, with the jab. He never saw it. Split the guard with the left hand. It was nice. But the rest of it wasn't all that nice, what I saw. I only saw the end part of the fight where, again, he got off on the outside and then Ihor got in close. There was a lot of grabbing, a lot of clutching, no inside fighting for the most part, sloppy, not something that, if you had more brains than Teddy Atlas Sr., you're probably... No, I'm actually Teddy Atlas Jr., I'm sorry. That's Teddy Atlas III, and his son is Teddy Atlas IV, and my father was Teddy Atlas Sr. I get confused with those things sometimes, a little bit. But if you were a little smarter than me, you probably wouldn't have spent time watching the whole thing. But I want to try to report to you guys. At the end of the day, the only reason I really brought up such a non-eventful fight, Bud, and you didn't even want to talk about it. And you're right, because you have more feelings for the audience than I do, apparently, because you said, why even bring this up? But later on, it's going to become relevant because we're going to talk about a match that I think is going to have to be made between two undefeated heavyweights. One of them is obviously Jalolov, and another one is one that is promoted by Top Rank. So we'll get to that. Where they give you a little something to look forward to. But anyway, at the end of the day, the two-time Olympic gold medalist went the distance, with an old throwback, a guy that reminded you of an old throwback.